Ninth tutorial in the series Intro to Charting for Behavioral Science. Right now we're picking up from video number 8 where we put together this scatter plot with our initial data, and we worked through the process of getting Excel to interpolate between these points even when there's really blank spots in there. So looking at where we were before, we still have a little ways to go to get from this type of chart to this more professional type. So let's jump back in. Right off the bat, we could clean this up by adding some of the necessary parts from before. So we'll add axes titles, we'll add a chart. Before we do anything, we'll update the font. We'll change it to Times New Roman. We'll change our font to 12, and we'll set the text to be black. There we go. We'll get rid of some of these grid lines that aren't super helpful. And to make these axes a little bit more standard, what we'll do is we'll format this axis. Maybe we'll give it a max of 2. And instead of having all this information here, maybe we'll just add the major unit to be 1. No, let's do 0.5. So it's looking a little bit cleaner. Add our title. Let's see, what was our title from before? A sample functional analysis chart. For miscellaneous behavior. And our y-axis will be rate per minute. And let's say these numbers on the bottom are session. Before we name that, since we want to specify points like these are 1, there's no need to really skip over all that. So let's right click in, format the axis, and set our unit to every single one and not every 2. There we go. And let's change our axes title to session or day, depending on how you're setting that up. And that looks a little bit better. I like to change these axes lines that run along the edge to be black instead of this kind of gray. So I'm going to format the axis. And I'm going to go with a paintbrush. And the line that's on the side, just like how we style a line, we're going to make that a solid color, and we're going to make that black. And then we can see now this is a much more pronounced color than this kind of off gray. And then we'll do the same thing for the x-axis. Alright, so that's looking a little bit better. We're running a little bit long on this session for now. So we'll end here, and then in the next tutorial we'll revisit modifying the individual markers and the legends to standardize this big clump of data into something that's a little bit more recognizable, a little bit cleaner. So stay tuned, watch the website, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you then.